So dense breast is based on the mammogram images of your breast, which is basically an x-ray of your breast. On one end of the spectrum, we have patients who have predominantly fatty breasts, and on the other end of the spectrum, we have patients who have predominantly glandular breasts. This is an example of a mammogram of the left breast on a patient who has predominantly fatty breasts, and as you can see, the background is black. And if she were to develop any masses, they would be like a beacon, like a chalk on a blackboard. This is an example of a dense breast, and as you can see, the background on this x-ray is very white. So you can imagine if you were to start to grow a small mass, which is also white, it could be lost in this type of mammogram. So for people with dense breasts, we often, advise them to get additional imaging.
I just assumed it just meant I had like heavier breast tissue, perhaps. But then when I kind of like research and they would educate me about it, it's like it is harder to kind of see things in dense breast tissue. But when you get the information that many women have dense breasts and it just warrants additional testing, dense breast doesn't mean, you're going to get cancer. It just means it's harder to see or detect it if there is something, if there's a tumor there, if there's a malignancy. So this is giving us the added benefit of being able to see that.
Mammogram is the gold standard for detecting breast cancer and for saving lives early. We use that as our foundation when we're, imaging women's breasts, and we work off of the mammogram. So even though, like I said, it may hide small masses, other things we look for are microcalcifications, we look for distortion in the pattern. So there are other things that we will see on a mammogram, even in a patient with dense breasts, and that is where you always want to start.